Hey, this is Stephanie.
And I'm Nina.
And you're listening to Live by the Spirit podcast.
Hello.
Healer.
Man.
I don't know how long it's been.
It's been a long
We are
time.
alive. We didn't
We
die.
do live.
We do
Yes.
live. We live together.
They know that.
I know, but man, if you would have told me a year ago when we decided to live together that we barely recorded since moving in, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Especially because we literally have a studio.
Yeah, / office.
But like the whole purpose always was a studio.
I know.
And our names are on the wall with our logo.
I know. I made that. So cute.
It's kind of funny that we don't record. My mom asks me about it at least once a week. She goes, "So when are you guys going to record?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
It's
We'll
funny
get
now
there.
because we have like new people in our friend group that had no idea we even had a podcast.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of funny.
yeah. But anyways, we're alive.
We're alive.
We just have been horrible about
Yeah.
doing things.
It'd be
It's
accurate.
2025. Wait, have we
It
recorded
is.
at all this year?
No.
Okay.
Let me look at when our last podcast
That was when I
released.
was really hangry in the beginning and everyone was like, "Is Stephanie okay?"
Yeah.
I was not okay for the first bit because I had no food in my stomach. Sorry to whoever
Take
my
a
future
guess.
husband is. Oh, like October.
Oh, no.
Was it sooner than that?
It was later.
Later. Really?
Mhm.
November?
December 9th.
We did not record in
Yes,
December.
we did. And then before that, it was August 12th,
That sounds about right.
July 8th,
Okay.
June 10th, May 6th, April 15th. That was okay. We've barely recorded since our 1 year anniversary.
Season 2 has been kind of a dud. Sorry, y'all.
But
Season 3 will be hype, man.
we're making a season 3.
Well, it's year 3.
It is year 3. But does that mean we have to make it season 3?
I don't know. I feel like we're in a different season of life. Don't.
Are we?
It feels like
I feel like not much has changed since December when we last made an episode.
I feel like a whole new woman. I don't know why. I feel like I've aged 5 years in the last
You had
4
a
months.
birthday.
I know, but do you ever just feel like, wow, I've really aged recently?
No. I mean, I do go to bed earlier, which makes me feel older.
Well,
I
yeah.
can't hang past like 10 p.m. anymore.
Yeah, well, things we missed. Christmas happened.
My parents spent Christmas here
Fun.
at
I
the
got
apartment.
aggressively ill on Christmas Day.
Stephanie was sick.
And then
Stephanie had a birthday.
I had my 27th
Seventh.
birthday, which was hype.
We had a Disney Channel themed birthday party.
So much fun.
We
I went to Disney.
You went to Disney.
Uh-huh.
We had Galentine's Day.
So probably my favorite Galentine's Day I've ever had in my life. We had so much fun.
Then my parents came into town for my dad's birthday. My dad turned 60. Then I had spring break, which not a whole lot happened. I had people come into town. And aside from that, I feel like not much has really happened.
Yeah.
You know?
We're both still single.
Yes.
I was about to say aggressively single, but I don't think
I'm
that's
not
a correct
aggressively
term.
single. I'm contentedly single.
Yeah. Good way of putting that.
Yes.
I'm on Hinge.
I do not online date. Work is wild, as per usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in one of those seasons.
Yeah. I will say, were you shocked at how early I got home today?
What time did you get home today?
4:00.
Oh, I was in my work bubble.
I haven't been home before 4:00 in well over a month.
Oh, really?
When do you see me come home from work that early?
You've definitely came home early for us to go to group, like at least once.
I've never come home before group, except that 1 week that I literally drove home only for us to turn right around and leave.
Yeah.
But since I always go right to group from work.
Fun.
Yeah. I was at work till 7:30 last night. Today I left at 3:15.
So
Got
fun.
groceries. Adulting.
Anyways, we decided, since we haven't recorded in a while, we were going to do a fun little Q&A, and we had people send in questions. A lot of them were kind of deeper than I thought they were going to be, so we're going to...
Well, when she sent out a text to all of our friends and kind of was like, oh, send us questions, people said, what kind of questions? And you said anything you want. You didn't say, oh, send some lighthearted and some deep. Like, it's a podcast where we talk about faith. People are going to go deep.
Yeah. So. But anyways, I guess we can just kind of dive in. Sure. Our friend Maddie said, who's your favorite redhead?
It's really funny because she's a redhead and she wants us to respond that way.
Yeah. What was funny was I was with Olivia when she sent that text, and I was like, well, you're a redhead. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, Nina's a redhead.
Mm-hmm. I'm slowly trying to ditch the redhead. Maddie is not a natural redhead. Yeah. Whereas Olivia and I are both natural redheads.
Yeah. She looked at me. She was like, you think I have red hair? I was like,
she definitely has like, reddish tinted hair.
She was like,
sure.
No, I've always thought I had red hair and no one believes me. I
absolutely.
Was like, girl,
she's got red hair.
A ginger.
Oh, yeah.
And your baby is also a ginger.
Which is so... Oh, yeah. Olivia had a baby.
Oh, yeah. Our friend Liv has a little baby. Mm-hmm. Jillian has a baby. Well, Georgie had a baby.
But Jillian had a baby before our last episode came out.
Yeah.
Olivia had hers after that, and Georgie had hers after that. Yeah. So we have some new babies in our group.
Yeah. Our friend Paige asked us, she said, what are some things that you feel you're walking into? Hopefully not a door.
I don't really know if I could necessarily answer that question. Ooh. Like per se, like
secrets.
No, what I'm saying is I don't know necessarily what it is, but I've had a lot of words prophesied to me that there is something big coming. I don't know what that would look like. I'm not going to sit here and be like, that is a relationship, because honestly, like, I don't think that's it. I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like, but definitely have some big expectations that I think that the Lord is going to fulfill this year. Not expectations, but just like goals that I think that he's going to bring me to. So
fun.
What about you?
Hopefully not any doors or walls. For sure. No, just kidding. I also feel like some big things are happening in life, but I also I feel kind of nice and steady right now. Like, I feel like sometimes I feel like life is like you being on a boat, and sometimes the waves are really, really hard and you're going up and down and up and down. And other times it's just calm, still waters. I feel like I'm in a pretty calm, still water season, but like but at the same time, like, I want it to be kind of a rocky, not like a bad rocky season, but I'm like, can we go up a little bit, please? Some good things happen.
Gotcha.
Kind of going off that, our amazing friend Kelsey asked, do you feel like you found contentment? What do you feel like is what do you feel like the best way to keep it is? Sorry, I'm dyslexic.
I feel like I think that true godly contentment is very hard to get to, because we have so many distractions in life that it becomes really easy to veer off that track of wanting more. I will say that I feel like I ebb and flow through contentment. I think overall, I have a genuine contentment with my life, where I know who's in charge, and I find comfort and rest in that. But then obviously there's always things that we want, and sometimes it's hard to surrender those things when we want them. So I think it's just honestly like a daily surrender of things that we want, but also we need to know and rest in the fact that God knows so much more and so much better than we do. So I definitely feel content. I know that ebbs and flows because the enemy likes to knock us on our butt with that. But I think overall, contentment really is about daily surrender, because you cannot be content without daily surrendering those things.
Yeah. I would say, to answer the second part of the question, what do you feel like is the best way to keep contentment? For me, it's being busy. if that makes any sense. I feel like I am, but I feel like I was super content the beginning of this year because I was so busy. Like January and February were 2 very packed months. I had so much fun, got to do some amazing things, got to be around my favorite people ever, got to go on vacation, got to have a birthday, you know, all those fun things. And I found myself being like, wow, I just love my life. I love where the Lord has me. I am grateful. And, you know, I feel like I hadn't had that longing that I'd been having during the holidays for, you know, like a relationship or like next steps. And then I've been finding during, like, I feel like the end of this past month, March, has kind of started to slow all that down. And I'm home a lot more. I'm working a lot, which is great. But I definitely do it when I'm not busy. I tend to think and my mind gets a little drifted. So it's finding things to keep me busy in a good, godly, productive way, if that makes any sense. So really have been fostering my quiet time, really have been in the Word and finding ways to keep busy in that sense. And I feel like that's an even better way of being busy, if that makes any sense, because I'm being busy with a godly purpose.
I have a few thoughts. First, do you think that there's a difference in you needing to be, like you said, that keeping busy helps you with contentment? Because obviously we overthinkers over here, we can get our mind in a whirl when we're sitting alone with our thoughts. So do you think that you have to foster contentment differently when you are not busy?
Absolutely.
What does that look like?
For me, it's not allowing myself to sit in my thoughts. Like I work from home and I love working from home. Would not change that for the world. But there are times where sometimes I will be in the same position all day, every day. And that's not good. That's not good for you mentally in general, but particularly when you are fighting the enemy and trying, you know, wanting different things for your life. So it's just simply even changing my posture, getting up, if I had been in my room all day, making sure I could come in to the office, have my office time, go into the living room, go on a walk, little things like that, honestly, truly change my mindset and keep me, I think, just moving in general. But I would say younger me would be busy to distract myself in a sense and like to not focus on things. Whereas now it's like, no, like moving is okay as long as I'm not moving away from my problems.
True.
And so it's just like just changing posture of how you view things.
I like that.
I'm very, very thankful for the life I have. I have more things of Thanksgiving than I do things of longing, if that makes any sense. Like, we're always going to want things. I have more things to be thankful for that the Lord has placed in my life. And we've talked about this so many times before on this podcast, just in general. But like, you know, I think of things in my life that I have now that I'd prayed for years for. And now it's like, oh, I want this and I don't have this thing yet. And I'm like, bro, 5 years ago, prayed so hard for this friend group I have. Why am I so fast to forget how much of a blessing that, like, little things like that.
Definitely.
So to answer the question, I agree with you. I think contentment is a day-to-day, minute-by-minute decision. I think some days are easier than others. And I think it's just when you're struggling with it, it's just changing your posture, changing your viewpoint too. I think is really important.
I like it.
Thank you. She also asked us, our friend Kelsey, she said, what is the weirdest compliment you've received? I have one from Sunday. Our friend Jude told me I had a very thin neck.
Oh, wait, I forgot he said that.
And then he said, is that something that girls strive for, to have a really thin neck? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, do you as a female want a thin neck? I was like, I'm not going to the gym and doing neck exercises to slim my neck, if that's what you're wondering. And he was like, no, I'm just curious if that's something that females want. And I'm like, I mean, and I was like, I mean, we don't want like the under chin fat. He's like, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your neck. And I'm like,
he's so wild.
I was like, okay,
Jude.
I'm taking it as a compliment that I have a very thin neck. So that's my weirdest compliment as of recently.
I don't really know if I can think of one off the top of my head. I feel like randomly, like, yeah, I don't know, actually. I was trying to think about it earlier, and I don't know.
Oh. Mine was recent, so it was helpful.
I always get compliment. I mean, it's not really weird. It's just random. I have tinsel in my hair currently.
Yeah.
We did a drama production at school, and all the kids got tinsel and all the coaches got tinsel. And so everywhere I have gone for the previous week, I have gotten so many compliments on my hair tinsel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, I'd be doing this all along if people are going to compliment me.
Not to bring Jude back up, but we went to Nina's school show on Friday, and Nina had a Dutch braid.
Bubble braids, yeah.
But it was like a Dutch braid. And Jude was like looking at me. He's like, how does one do that? So I'm like trying to explain to him how you do it. And I can just see it going in one ear and out the other. And so I was like, okay, we're going to ditch the Dutchness of this, and we're just going to do a normal bubble braid. And he was like, oh, that's really cool.
It was like, I want my hair to look like that every single day. Like the girl who did it, I was like, please do my hair every morning. Like, I love it.
That's so fun. Your brother,
yes,
my oldest friend in our current friend group, which is crazy, asked, what is your favorite Old Testament wild story?
I have two.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Go for it.
I was thinking about this earlier. The first one that I think of is in, I believe, 2 Kings, when these kids come up and they're making fun of Elijah, calling him a bald head, and then he curses them, and the she-bears come and eat them. But another one that Jonah just shared with me recently, it was like a week ago, we were talking about this. He was saying that in 2 Chronicles, I believe the guy's name is Jehoram, and God literally curses him and gives him a bowel disease where slowly, day by day, his bowels come out until he dies. I'm like, that is so wild.
Yep.
And also, like, it's because he literally disobeyed the Lord, and that is the curse of that. I'm like, I am never disobeying the Lord again. Like, I don't want my bowels to come out. Obviously, that I pray the Lord would never make that happen for me, but I thought that one was pretty crazy.
Yeah. There was one recently, and I'm like blanking on it, that my dad told me about when he was in the hospital.
Random.
But I can't remember what it was. I was trying to look back at some of our old texts, and I can't find it, with you and Jude. But the first one I thought was the bald one. I mean, how iconic is that?
Oh, you bald head.
You bald head.
I think your Bible says baldy.
It does say baldy.
Mm-hmm.
How fun is that?
So good.
Yeah, that's crazy. The story about, I don't remember characters' names, but about the brother not marrying his brother's wife and then
dropping the semen outside the bed.
That's the story that my dad was telling me about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And literally God literally kills him.
Yeah, that's kind of a wild story.
You marry your brother's wife because your brother died, and then you don't want to have kids with her. So you literally dump your semen on the side of the bed, and then you die.
You know, it'd be so fun.
What?
Is if we did an episode of this podcast where we're like girly gossip, but about like a Bible story. You know how they do like story time?
That would
and we
be
do
wild.
that story like, oh my gosh, so my friend's husband died. And, you know, she had to marry his brother.
Oh my gosh.
And Bridgerton, how Simon didn't want to have kids.
My face right now.
I know.
Disgusting.
But like something like that. That would be hilarious. Let us know if you want us to do something like that. We could definitely whip up a script or something.
I literally, that story is so wild to me. And like, they're also in the Bible so nonchalant. Like the dude, so Elisha, when he curses the boys and they all die. And then he goes, and then he continued on. And it's like, okay, way to hit that and quit it. Like,
I know.
What?
It's crazy.
It is so random.
This one is a little bit more creative. If our lives were a sitcom, what would it be called, and who would play us in the reboot?
Who asked that?
ChatGPT.
I was like, I didn't see that question.
We had
come
a
through.
lot of very serious biblical questions come in, which is good.
Which is not a bad
I
thing.
needed some like things to liven it up.
What would our sitcom be called, and who would play us? Okay, well, actually, on that note, I have to read a text message that was sent to me. So recently, I have unfortunately dealt with some very rough circumstances. And we have a group chat with us, our friend Genesis, and her husband Joe. And last week, this is the text that I received. Nina, why do you always have to leave functions because of unfortunate events? Your life right now is like one of those movies where you're the main character who's constantly trying to avoid embarrassing situations.
Yep.
And that is my life. So think of a sitcom where where the main character is constantly trying to avoid unfortunate and embarrassing situations. Literally me in my life.
I was thinking something like just a blonde and a redhead.
True.
Because I feel like that's just simply
It's
our
just
personalities.
I feel like I don't know who I would even recruit
Recruit to play
me, but I guess it would depend on the phase of life that we're. Are we going back to the beginning?
No,
no,
let's
like
say
I mean,
us
like
now.
2022.
Oh
and
yeah,
continuing on
100%.
because I feel like I don't know, very very different from then.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It would be like not the series of unfortunate events, but the unfortunate events of Nina.
Oh,
is
Lord.
me.
That's crazy. I feel like she's a little promiscuous right now, but Miss Sabrina Carpenter
I knew you were gonna say
could
that.
play a really good Stephanie.
I knew you were gonna say
Yeah.
that. But
Or you know what? I changed my vote. Elle Fanning.
I would agree with that more.
Elle Fanning.
I would agree with that more.
I feel like we have
I think randomly you guys sort of look alike.
I feel like we carry ourselves very
There's
similar.
something about your eye shape on your head
Maybe.
that looks very
We
similar to
both
hers.
have oval faces.
I see it.
I mean, she is gorgeous and super tall. I'm very, very short. But yeah.
So we just need to find an even taller girl to balance her out. So
What
are you? Let's Google.
I'm
some
like, I know,
people.
I'm looking up redheaded actresses.
You could even do brown hair.
Yeah. I am asking ChatGPT and searching really, really hard. I'm really confused. I like typed in blonde actresses and it popped up right away. Redheads, some unknown reason not wanting to load.
Well, because there's not as many people, I feel like.
Wait, young female actresses.
With red hair.
Just see. They can always dye their hair. It's fine.
That is very true.
Sadie Sink. Maybe.
Sadie Sink is too cool for me.
Millie Bobby Brown.
No.
No, I'm like already disagreeing with half of this list. It says Peyton List. I know. I feel like she gives more of a
Peyton List.
Stephanie vibe.
I don't know that she necessarily gives a you vibe, but she does not give a me vibe.
Dark hair.
I feel like there's very few actresses with my vibe.
I know. It keeps wanting to send Jenna Ortega. She's a little too dark for you.
Jenna Ortega, I think she could probably do it because she's a great actress, but...
Bailey Madison.
Did you know that Bailey Madison and I are actually the exact same age? We have the same exact birthday. We're actually birthday twins.
That's perfect.
So Bailey Madison could play me.
There we go. I love that.
Fun facts about me and Bailey Madison. We're twins.
We love.
Same exact
Okay,
birthday.
so we figured it out. Perfect. Okay, so Bailey Madison, Elle Fanning. Elle Fanning. Poor girl's going to have...
Elle Fanning.
Yes, poor girl's going to have bangs.
She's going to have to walk on her knees.
Poor Elle Fanning's going to have to go through some dark things before she gets to the light. That was like during the beginning of our Summer I Turned Pretty
Bro,
era.
that year was wild.
I know. Well, anyways, okay, our show's A Blonde and a Redhead starring Elle Fanning and Bailey Madison. That was a fun question.
That is a fun question.
Okay, Which one of us would survive longer in a zombie apocalypse, and why is it definitely not me?
It's definitely not Stephanie. And I don't think it's anything that you're doing wrong. I just don't think.
We just think I'm unlucky.
No, I would not necessarily say you're unlucky. I just think that,
I'd get distracted.
yeah, I definitely think you would get distracted. But I also think I'm much more of I'm not at all a social media person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you would learn all these tips and tricks from TikTok and then they just wouldn't work out for you.
Never know.
They might help.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think probably me, but I
am the person that just ate a whole clove of garlic while I was sick.
That is true. She did. And it was in her mouth and esophagus for like 4 days.
Oh my gosh. I oozed garlic.
It's so gross.
I was telling Georgie about that last night, and Georgie was like, well, here's the thing. You find a man who loves garlic.
That's still really gross. I'm sorry.
So, yeah. But apparently that's the thing. Like, onions and garlic, like, it sits in your, like, liver for days. That's why it's good for you when you're sick.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. But everything I tasted had garlic in it for a couple days.
Which is wild.
That was crazy. All right. What was something you believed for way too long as a kid? Santa Claus. I believed in Santa Claus till I was probably 11 years old.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Found out in the 7th grade.
That's actually kind of embarrassing.
And, well, okay. Let's reiterate. I had thoughts of him not being real, but the thing is, my dad, we talked about this a couple years ago when we did our Christmas episodes. My dad sold Santa Claus to me hard. That man put so much effort into me believing about Santa Claus. And I remember when I finally started questioning it, I asked him, and he said, this is how he would respond. My dad still responds to this day. If you ask that man if Santa Claus is real, he said, if you believe in Santa Claus, you get more presents.
I don't think he's ever said that he isn't real to you, has he?
He's never said that he's not real.
Exactly.
And I was in a class in 7th grade, and I had a teacher make a comment about Santa Claus not being real. And I was like, okay. At that point, I questioned it definitely, and I was like pretty leaning that way. But I was like, okay, this is confirmation. I have an adult I trust right now telling me Santa Claus isn't real. And then I felt embarrassed. I didn't say anything, but I was like,
good thing.
I'm like, everyone's like, yeah, we know he's not real. We've known he's not real for like years. I'm like, okay.
I don't remember when I stopped believing in Santa Claus, but I know it was not that long because I remember there was this whole... I remember this thing where Jonah was trying to tell me that Santa wasn't real.
Of course it's Jonah
but
ruining
Wesley
the magic.
was trying to... no, I had already known. And Wesley was like trying to preserve it. So like I remember... I'm pretty sure that this actually happened, and I'm pretty sure I didn't dream it. That Wesley had written a note as Santa and put it on the tree for Jonah, saying he was going to get coal if he told me that Santa wasn't real. But I also could be imagining, I swear that this happened. I'll have to verify with Wesley, but I'm pretty sure that happened.
Wesley is a legend.
Yeah.
I got
actually,
that man.
He might not remember, but Jonah would remember.
I impressed that man once, and I will die to my grave happy.
Oh, yeah, because when she went cliff jumping.
My contact popped out of my eye, and I caught it.
Wait, update.
What?
I have seen a chiropractor and
Oh,
my
yeah.
tailbone problems are fixed.
Took
And
her-
my migraines.
Took her.
Ask me when the last time I had a migraine was.
Yeah, I wonder who told you to go to chiropractor 2 years ago.
I haven't had a migraine, minus my caffeine withdrawal one. I have not had a migraine in almost a month. It's amazing.
Imagine if you would have
Every
gone
time
the
I
first
see
time.
Omar, he goes, "How you doing?" I said, "Omar, I'm doing so well."
Imagine if you would have gone to the chiropractor back in 2023 when I told you to go for the first time. You would have been out of pain for 2 years.
Yeah. So my body feels great now. My body is healed.
If you guys want to know what our friendship is like, it's that. Nina's in pain. Why don't you go to the chiropractor? It will be fine. 2 years later, finally goes to the chiropractor. Why haven't I done this years ago?
When I was explaining all of my bodily ailments to Omar, he was just like, and let me guess, you didn't get that one checked out, did you? I said, no.
Legend.
It was a really funny
I was
time, but
supposed
we're
to see,
great.
I was supposed to see Bradshaw today, and I had to move that because
I see Omar tomorrow.
Okay. That was really loud. Sorry. Which fictional character would be your absolute worst roommate, and which would be your bestie?
I did not think that that's where the question was going.
I know.
I thought it was going to go boyfriend, and I think we know which one.
Oh,
would be
I mean,
mine.
we could do that first. Who would
fictional character boyfriend?
Conrad Fisher,
Gilbert Blythe.
Oh, okay. I thought we were about to fight.
No, we're
Conrad
not gonna
Fisher,
fight over
hands
Conrad.
down.
Love him. He's in my top 3 for sure.
I would like everyone. Why is he not on our wall of men? Conrad's not on our wall of men. That's so sad.
It's actually really wild that he's not.
We need to change it.
Mm,
We need to put him on there.
who would we replace?
Well, we have Drew Starkey on there twice.
that's true. You
We
could
also have
probably take him
Niall.
off.
We have Niall on there twice.
Okay, but he deserves to be on there twice.
Yeah, I know. Drew deserves to be on there twice. He's good looking. Oh my god. Yeah.
I
No.
think my top. Yeah, he would definitely be my top 3, but Gilbert's definitely my number 1.
Yeah, and she's talking about Anne with an E. Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Watch the show.
I
Best and worst roommate.
well, hold on. Let's go back to the boyfriend. I didn't get to say anything.
You said
about
Conrad Fisher.
I did, but I didn't explain why.
I didn't explain why either. I don't feel like he needs an explanation.
Conrad or
Gilbert.
Gilbert?
Watch the show
Okay.
and everybody will understand.
The thing is that I have this. I've been in love with Conrad Fisher since I was probably 12 years old when I first read The Summer I Turned Pretty. And so all these new girlies are loving him because of the show, which
I will say.
Chris plays a really good Conrad.
We love it.
Chris is like how I envision Conrad all these
Yes.
years. So I'm very proud of his performance. But it's just like everyone's now hopping on the bandwagon.
Can we talk about how we have a release date for season 3?
Oh my gosh! Finally, we always made jokes. It was like one of us is gonna get married before season 3 comes out, and sure enough, Jen and Joe got married.
That is true.
Literally,
July 17th can't come soon enough.
it's gonna be a good day.
It's going to be such a good day. We should have a whole day thing
I know.
going on.
All right, I don't know what day it is of the week, but we're taking the day off work.
I won't be working.
You won't be working in July.
What day of the week is July 17th, 2025?
About to be a Friday.
Thursday.
A Thursday. Okay.
No, I don't work in July.
Taking.
I work like the last week of July.
Yeah, I'll take that Thursday off. We'll have a pool day. Oh my gosh, it's like High School Musical 2 release party pool day with all the snacks.
Pool day.
Yeah.
Yes, pool day, and then after spending all day in the pool,
You know
we
what's-
come and we watch.
You know what's so exciting
What?
is that we're gonna watch this with Genesis and Joe Avi.
Yeah.
Genesis has read all the books, so this is the first time we're gonna watch an episode with her as it premieres, where she
We
understands
need Joe
the
to read the books
book
before
lore.
this.
I know. We'll get him to,
We need to do this.
but I don't know if he'll read the last book. I don't know. He may wait. I think that's what
I
Genesis
don't feel
said.
like he should read the last book.
I don't think so either.
I think he should read it afterwards.
I think he should be surprised, but when we pause it
Now
to
I
have
want to
her,
read the third.
I know.
I
I was
almost said I want to read season 3.
I was
I'm
debating
gonna read
doing
book
that
3.
earlier today. Anyways, okay. Next question. We can talk about the Summer I Turned Pretty for hours. All right. We can go back to the actual question I asked, which was about the worst fictional character roommate versus the best. I don't know where this question came from on ChatGPT, but I thought it was interessante.
I think it's interesting, but I don't have an
You know,
answer.
I think the worst roommate for me, Sam Puckett from iCarly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would, yeah, that would not fly very well. Or Jackson from Hannah Montana. Every episode I saw, did you see his bedroom on those episodes? He literally had like live fungus on, like,
Disgusting.
there's like a scene where he has like mushrooms growing on old pizza. I'm like,
Nasty.
no. Best roommate? Oh, definitely not Belly. Girl is complicated. Trying to think. Who do I
Who?
love? Belly.
Oh, Belly. I literally wasn't paying attention to you.
Thank you.
No, I heard everything else you said, and then while you were thinking, I was thinking, and then I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
I
Don't-
really don't know.
Who would be I'm trying to think about all of my
We're like
books.
good. I know. I was looking at
You
your
know,
bookshelf.
you know what? I think for me, just because of the books that I'm currently seeing, because I'm blanking on all the books I've ever read in my life, which I've already read 13 books this year, I would say Laura Jean
Ooh.
from To All the Boys. Her and I feel like have very similar.
I feel like Laura
styles.
Jean would be a great roommate.
I think she'd be.
She would make food for you.
She'd make food
She
for
would
you.
literally make pastries,
Ugh.
and then she wouldn't want to
She's
bug
so
you.
cute with
Love
bows
her.
and the.
She'd probably do your hair for you.
I know.
She'd buy you cute things.
I know.
Oh, I'm down.
I
Can
know.
Should she move in?
I know. Seriously.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Our third one is
Laura
our third
Jean.
roommate's Laura Jean. Okay. I already know your answer to this one. What's your most irrational fear that still gets to you to
Bro,
this day?
spiders,
Spiders.
man, I cannot function. Yesterday, no. Yesterday, all of my kids went feral. Like, it was the terrible day at work. So my 4th grade group, every day we grab whiteboards to work on math. They grab the whiteboards and they're looking through it. And one of my students just screams, "Spider!" And I literally freaked out. I said, "Get that off of my desk, get away from me and kill it before you come back." It was very small, but I still do not like it.
There's the second Harry Potter, there's a scene with a really big spider and it has a bunch of spider babies, and I was watching it watching it recently, and I was like, this would literally be Nina's worst nightmare come to life.
So I love Lord of the Rings. Return of the King is a phenomenal movie, but they have a huge spider in that movie, obviously. And so I went to see the movie in theaters 2 years ago by myself for the 20-year release.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole part, I just sat with my eyes closed.
Man.
What about you?
Snakes.
Really?
You know what? Actually, I'm going to change that to bird. Well, snake, I prefer.
You say birds?
Yeah, I don't like birds.
What do you mean?
So I think this question's more so like, did it stem from something? Snakes, I've never liked. Birds, that became a fear because of an incident. And that was because I grew up on a farm and we had ducks. And we basically, our house is on the top of this hill, and then there was a pond at the bottom of this hill, right? And the duck food was in the garage, right? So every morning you would open the garage door. Those ducks heard that door opening and they were coming running. I think we had like 30 to 50 ducks at one point. So just imagine a stampede of ducks coming at you at once. It was scary. I didn't enjoy it. It was like, and then they'd come pecking at you because they knew you had the food. So I had to come up with a system to where I scooped the food out, hit the garage door, run out, spread it, come back, close the door before they made it up the hill, and then I had to wait for them to start eating it so I could back my car out. So that's where the bird thing came from. Snakes I've just never liked.
Snakes don't bother me.
But the birds, there was
I
an
guess
incident.
Seagulls are kind of freaky.
I can handle one bird at a time.
One bird at a time, but when those seagulls come near you,
I know, when you're on the
flinging
beach
down, man,
and you're just trying to eat your food in peace,
and they're coming real too close.
I know that I don't like it. No, so that's where that came from. Alrighty, our friend Ruth asked us, "How have you learned to rest?" I lay my head down and fall asleep.
Yeah, man, you just close your eyes. You know?
I take my sleep pills.
I take some magnesium.
Oh.
No, I think that there is a right way to rest and a wrong way to rest. And I think that the wrong way to rest, I don't think there's anything wrong with like laying down, taking a nap, or like watching a show or something. But I think that resting in the Lord is so much more important to your spiritual health. So I found that the best way for me to do that is to remove all distractions. And so, make sure my phone is away, make sure I have any and all distractions away, and just spending long periods of time in prayer, and obviously as well as meditating on the word.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that because I work from home, the idea of resting is a lot different for me now than it would have been like 5 years ago, because it's not like I have to get up and walk to class or get up and physically get ready to go to work and then be in an office and then come back. There's some days where I literally wake up and I don't change my clothes.
Yeah.
And, so to me, resting can be a little tricky sometimes. That's why I love having half of my closet be my prayer closet. Because I'm like, that's where I can go and find rest. That's why I try not to work in my bed. Does it happen? No. I work mostly.
Hey, it's okay.
It happens.
You were in the office today.
I needed to like be tippy-tappy, and I need multiple screens. But anyways, it's crazy because you think, oh, Stephanie's home all the time, she must get tons and tons of rest.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I get too much rest to where I'm still tired and there's nothing necessarily I can do to be restful. So it's kind of cool how much different life is, to where I kind of honestly feel rest being around people and going out and doing things. Like when we actually have plans and we can go out and do things, like I like, even though maybe physically I'm not getting rest, mentally I'm being rested at the same time. So I'd say that. And having like my prayer closet it's really good. I think someone else like asked how Paige kind of asked a similar question of like how we what are some good habits that you've placed to create time for the Lord? And something that someone said to me was have a designated place.
Yeah, I think that's important.
It's like you can have time with God anywhere, and that's true. Like sometimes if we're at a coffee shop or something, I'll have my quiet time there and do it, and it'll be great. But having the designated place, like I know when I enter in that closet and I basically have like a blanket on the ground. Once I hit that blanket, that's my place with Jesus. Like it's not about the clothes in there. It's not about the big mess that's in front of me. It's about my time with the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's something that I will need to have in every living situation I have for the rest of my life. And it's kind of changed. I don't know. Like I won't bring it, like I'll never have a TV in that room or, little things like that. So I'm very interested to see as I get older what that will look like. So I've seen some married couples like get a house with a bunch of rooms and they share like a prayer room. And I'm like, that sounds super cool.
That sounds awesome.
So, but yeah, I think kind of going off Ruth's question into Paige's question, having my designated place.
I like it.
Yeah. Do you have an answer for Paige's part of the question?
What is it? The full question.
She was like, how do you have, what are some good habits you have placed to create time with the Lord?
I definitely think that you need to not have distractions. Just kind of like I said before with resting, like you can't accurately spend time with the Lord when you constantly, you have your phone next to you. So you have, texts going off, like you have a TV on. Like I think sometimes it's hard in a shared space to adequately make that happen. So, I also will only ever dive into my Bible in 2 different places in this apartment. It's either at our table, because I like to have several things out in front of me, and I like to note a lot of things, and as well as I have a chair in my bedroom, which currently has clothes on it. So I definitely think having a space and also just making sure that you are rid of distractions, because if you are distracted, you're not going to be able to do that properly and how the Lord wants it. Like he says, come into the secret place, and you can't really be in a secret place when you have 1,000 other things going on.
Yeah. I have a do not disturb thing on my phone called Prayer in Progress, because a lot of my Bible studies I have are digital.
Yeah.
But it's nice because the only people I have that can send me a text are our pastors. So Chris and Laura and Jason and Brittany, and then awesome. Georgie and Donovan, which, excuse me, maybe shouldn't have Donovan on there because he never texts me. He just sends me random memes of like SpongeBob and
no,
things.
that's actually, I like that.
But, and then my dad, because a lot of times I'll find myself thinking about something or having a question. And so I'll send someone a text asking.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, I was in the prayer closet the other week and the Lord kept putting this one song on my heart. And I'm like, what? And I could only think of this one verse. I'm like, okay, clearly this is the part of the song that I need to highlight. So, but I was like, who will know this is Brittany.
Yeah.
So I sent Brittany a voice memo. I was like, girl, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to sing you this one verse. Can't find it anywhere. And she knew it immediately and sent it to me. I was like, okay, good. So yeah. But then also it's like, I'll only look at my phone if I'm in the Word doing a Bible study. Other than that, the phone is locked and put away. I don't have it out when I'm praying.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Or when I'm journaling.
Oh, yeah.
That's not good. But yeah. Fun things. Okay, now I gotta look. Excuse me, I'm getting over being sick.
Wrap this up for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, let's do one
44 minutes.
Oh my gosh, really? All right.
Ask the funny one.
Last and final question. Wait, what funny one?
Which question are you about to ask?
I was gonna ask another one. You want me to ask that one that Paige sent?
We'll put that one at the very end.
Okay. What's a completely unnecessary skill you have mastered?
Unnecessary. Yours is splitting the banana with your head.
I can split a banana with my head if you didn't know.
What? Unnecessary?
Well, just what's a skillful talent?
I don't have one.
I'm sure you do.
Like what?
I don't know. Think about things that you've done in front of us.
I don't know. I'm talentless. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not talentless. I just don't know. I feel that all of my talents have use. I guess. I don't know.
Hey, my banana splitting has
what
a use.
What use does it have?
It splits a banana open. I can then eat banana.
I don't know.
You know what's funny is lately, I think it's my nails. I can't open a banana.
So you just split it like that? Oh my God.
But the ones I have up there are too ripe now, so I'm literally having to like chop them. But yeah, a couple times I've had to split it with my head.
Make banana bread.
I want to eat my bananas.
Oh, I don't like bananas, but I like banana bread.
I love bananas. Okay, the last. Well, since we'll hold off on this one for Nina. Nina can think about it next time.
My useless talents.
Paige asked us the most important question.
So funny.
Any crushes?
You know,
I can safely say no. I don't know about Nina. I can safely say no. I mean, yeah, I'm on Hinge. Other than that, yeah. Which is kind of nice. I feel like the last few years I go from one crush to another. It's kind of nice not to have a crush right now.
Yeah.
But then also it's like there's nothing I feel like I'm striving towards.
Just because you have a crush just because you don't have a crush doesn't mean you're not striving for things.
That's true. This last one though, we were scheming.
The last one was bad. The last one we just
share the story.
If I was not worried about
this getting back to this person.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's just say
we have to.
We took things into our control when we should not have.
Hey, a couple of times.
Okay. No. We would scheme, and then God would be like, psych, and throw something at us, and we're like, oh.
And then God would do something, and it's like, oh, it's happening. It's happening.
And then it was like, yeet, just kidding. It's not.
Oh, wait. I'll tell this quick story, then we need to wrap it up. I won't say we were at Genesis's bachelorette trip, our friend Genesis' bachelorette trip.
Oh my gosh.
On the way down there, I was in the car. It was me, Nina, and our friend Olivia. And Olivia was asking me about it. I was like, I don't think it's happening. Like, I'm getting over it.
Yeah.
Like, don't see anything progressing. Our last full day, we had packed the car up from the beach. So we're driving back to our Airbnb from the beach. And mind you, Georgie had just got her mom van. Mm-hmm. So all of us girls are in this mom van. And my friend sends me a text saying that she was at a wedding with someone that is friends with the person that I had a crush on. And how they were talking me up. And apparently he likes blondes. They were like talking about all these things, and they were trying to scheme to set us up together. And so I'm like reading these it was one of those moments I wish we could have had it on film. I'm reading this.
So funny.
I'm reading these text messages. I'm at the very front of the car with Georgie. I'm reading these text messages out. The car gets silent, and then all of a sudden everyone starts screaming. Genesis is like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to add another invitation to the wedding. And like
then we're calling Jude,
and then we're calling
Jude's freaking out.
Jude's freaking out. And I think at one point we called Cameron. Cameron was freaking out. And then we got back to the house. I'm like, he doesn't like me, it's fine. And like started second guessing myself, and then I got hit with some hard truths.
And you know,
but that was girlhood right there.
It was wild.
It was honestly
we were doing a lot of scheming, but it was like things like that where we didn't even plan that.
I know.
And it happened.
My friend just so happened to be at a wedding where she knew somebody
who knew him.
And
it was like, and then like how we met him and all of these things.
I want to tell the story so badly.
The story is wild, but in the event,
I know
he listens to this.
We should rewrite it and change it up a bunch, but it still makes sense.
Yeah,
to tell it safely.
But I feel like,
yeah, we haven't seen him in a hot sec.
We haven't. But I genuinely think that if we told the story without his name, he would know it was him.
Oh, for
based
sure.
on details, and we cannot have
for
that.
Sure. Frick, Nashville is a small town. Don't let anyone tell you differently.
No. It really is. It's the fact that I have been here for how long? 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And I will then be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. They're like, wait, you know this person? I'm like, wait, how do I know a connection when I've barely been here?
Nina was getting her hair done, and the hairdresser next to Nina, literally, I guess
Went to high
Nina said
school
my
with her.
Nina said my full name, and
No. I said, so she had said something about going to Davidson Academy.
oh, that's my alma mater.
And then I said, my roommate went there. She goes, wait, who? I said, she goes, it's such a small school. Like, I bet I'll know them. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Stephanie Graydon. She was like, no way. I know her. Da, 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 da. And she's like Steph's whipping out these pictures
I
of them
know.
together. And I'm like, what is going on?
You like sent me a text, and I think you just sent me her first name, and I like responded with her maiden name. I was like, but that's not her. She got married right after we got out of high school. But anyways, that's our show for you folks.
So 50 minutes.
We just yapping. You know what's funny is we live together, but I feel like we never yap. So
I feel
it's
like
kind of nice.
that was the most we've yapped in a while.
I don't know. We yapped pretty hard the other night, Sunday night, when we were trying to make that gross pizza.
Bro, that
Yeah. Story for another time.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks you guys for being back. We're gonna try our best to do better about recording.
Yes.
we
just really need to put it on our calendar.
Yeah, I think having the
one day
2-year anniversary sneak up on us was kind of crazy, and we both were like, we should just do something fun.
Yeah.
So we're here. Better than
ever.
ever.
We have podcast ideas, and then we just never do them.
I know. Well,
Like,
life's
we've
been
talked
crazy
about it.
And also, like, let's go back to the rest thing. A lot of times you get back from work and you need to decompress. I need to decompress. And then it's like, oh, it's 10 p.m. It's too late to record.
You know what we need to do?
What?
We need to get Jonah finally on the podcast.
Oh, gosh. I know.
It would be so fun.
Yeah. That
we
boy
need
got
to
some
We
stories.
need to bring our bestie boys back, too.
Yeah, Jude and Joelle. I want to get Cammy on a podcast.
Ooh,
Our friend
Cammy
Cameron
on a
is
podcast would be awesome.
one of my favorite people ever.
Cammy would be awesome. I will say I recently re-listened to, when I say recently, I mean like at least a month ago, re-listened to our podcast episodes with Jude and Joelle, and they were awesome.
I love Jude and Joelle.
I love them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Our bestie boys.
bestie boys, we should have them. Jonah's been asking to be on a podcast episode for like the entirety that he's lived in Nashville. So
I know. We'll get him.
we'll get it set up.
Well, anyways, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you later.
All right, peace and blessings.
Bye.